Happy birthday to Deaconess Tangi White on this morning. Amen. God bless you. Amen. Today is her birthday, not yesterday. Yeah. Today is her birthday. Amen. So God bless you. Amen. We love you and we appreciate you. Amen. Happy belated birthday to Sister Stewart. Amen. Amen. Happy birthday. And happy belated birthday to my granny. Amen. We're in 1 Samuel, the 16th chapter. This is a little bit lengthy reading. This is the last time I'll ask you to stand. The next time you stand will certainly be on you. And the Bible declares that the Lord said unto Samuel, how long wilt thou mourn for Saul, seeing I have rejected him from reigning over Israel? Fill thine horn with oil, and go. I will send thee to Jesse the Bethlehemite, for I have provided me a king among his sons. And Samuel said, how can I go? If Saul hear it, he will kill me. And the Lord said, take an heifer with thee, and say, I'm come to sacrifice to the Lord. And call Jesse to the sacrifice, and I will show thee what thou shalt do. And thou shalt anoint unto thee him whom I name unto thee. And Samuel did that which the Lord spake, and came to Bethlehem. And the elders of the town trembled at his coming, and said, comest thou peaceably? And he said, peaceably, I come to sacrifice unto the Lord. Sanctify yourselves, and come with me to the sacrifice. Sanctified Jesse and his sons and called them to the sacrifice. And it came to pass when they were come, that he looked on Eliab and said, surely the Lord's anointed is before him. For the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. Then Jesse called Abinadab and made him pass before Samuel. And he said, neither have the Lord chosen this. Then Jesse made Shammah to pass. And he said, neither have the Lord chosen this. And again, Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel. And Samuel said unto Jesse, the Lord have not chosen these. Samuel said unto Jesse, are here all thy children? And he said, there remaineth yet the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep. And Samuel said unto Jesse, send and fetch him, for we will not sit down till he come hither. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy with all of a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look on. And the Lord said, arise, anoint him, for this is he. Then Samuel took the horn of oil, and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. The Spirit of the Lord came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah. The word of the Lord is already blessed. Listen, for a few moments, I want to talk to you on the subject, don't miss your next because you're stuck on your now. God is on the move. Don't miss your next because you're stuck on your now. God is on the move. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. So we've been talking for the last month and a half on adjusted vision. The goal and the objective of the series past and of today, as we get ready to go into the year 2020, was simply to redefine your identity. It was to renew your mind and to re-energize your heart. It's important that you understand that habits aren't simply broken, but they have to be displaced. Most of us, we try to break bad habits, or we break habits, we try. But for many of us, it's not working out the way that we intended it to, which then means that you have to replace or displace the habits that are displeasing to you. For a lot of us in this room, we're talking about the next level, the next year, the next version of you. And it's inevitable that promotion is at hand. However, the question remains, where are you lacking in consistency and dedication? The question remains, where are you lacking in sacrifice? How can you serve more? How can you give more? What are you multiplying? Are you multiplying what the Lord has entrusted unto you? It's vital that you understand that complacency is the assassin to your destiny. Let me say that one more time. Complacency is the assassin to your destiny. And many of us, we're complacent with what we have. We're complacent with where we are. We're complacent with what we do. We're complacent with how we serve. We're complacent with how we give. We're complacent with the way that we treat others. But what are you lacking? Are you lacking consistency? How consistent are you in your servitude? How consistent are you in your giving? What have you sacrificed? What have you taken and you've made it multiply and become more than what it is? Because it's easy to understand that Jesus was in the multiplying business. As you all know, he took two biscuits or 2 fish and 5 loaves and he multiplied it. He fed 5,000. Why? Because Jesus is in the multiplying business. So many of us are calling for promotion, but we don't want what promotion takes. Right. We don't want to pay the penalty for promotion, or should I say the price for promotion. It's not a penalty. Many of us, we're not willing to give up some things, and so we're still at the level where we currently are. It's important that you understand that promotion is prompted when a stage of development is completed. Have you been developed for your next? Please know there's always more to your next level. So the Bible is very clear when it says to us, to whom much is given, much is required. And so you've been asking God for more. You've been asking God for your next. But do you understand that there's more to your next level? Y'all didn't catch it, so let me say it like this. Every gift, every anointing, every assignment, every son, every measure, and every house must survive the stages of the development in order to qualify for promotion. Did y'all hear what I just said? So let me say it one more time because y'all just missed it. Every gift, every anointing, every son, every measure, every house has to survive the stages of development in order to qualify for promotion. Touch your neighbor and ask your neighbor, did you qualify for your next? Or are you still looking at your now? Y'all don't want to talk back to me. Did you qualify for your next? Because here it is, God is trying to develop you right where you are. God is trying to grow you. God is trying to stretch you and not stress you. But are you embracing the developmental stages that God has for your life? So then, we understand in order for me to go to my next, I need to adjust my vision. And you need to understand that when it is that your vision has been adjusted, people won't and they don't understand what you're doing because they've never seen it before. They didn't catch that one. In other words, that means you're different. You've been called out, amen. You've been called out of the crowd because God wants you to do something different from everybody else. And that's the reason why a lot of people don't understand you. That's the reason why a lot of people simply won't understand you because what you're doing, it doesn't look like what they've seen before. If I can go back to biblical times, amen, it was Noah who looked like a fool when he said, get on this boat because it's getting ready to rain. What about Moses? Y'all know Moses. He looked crazy when he lifted that stick in front of that body of water until the Red Sea parted. And look what happened. Everybody crossed over. And so what I'm trying to tell everybody in this place, don't be afraid to look different. Don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid that you're not a part of what everybody else in the clique has got. Y'all want to talk back to me? And so what I'm trying to get at, my people, amen, please, please, please don't be so hell-bent on trying to sell people in believing in who God has called you to be. Preach, Lovett, I just did. And the reason why you can't sell them is because they already bought the lie about you. Come on, Lovett, preach. And so when it is that God created you, please understand that he never consulted for the opinion of other people. And so what you need to do is you need to stop seeking validation from the voices that are invalid in your life. I'm trying to help somebody up in this place. I'm trying to tell somebody, amen, you don't have to seek validation from everybody because when God's hand is on your life, maybe they can't touch and God brought you through it, he shows up no break. I'm trying to be good this morning. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be good. What you saying, preacher? I'm trying to tell somebody in here that God always disguises your next in adversity. God always disguises your next in a package that looks small. God always disguises your next in a package that seems small. Why? Because he doesn't want you to fall in love with the container. He wants you to fall in love with the content. Give somebody a high five and say, neighbor, there's always divine content in the message container. There's always divine content in defective containers. And so you're wondering why God always uses the underdogs, because he doesn't want you to fall in love with the container more than the content. Preach, Lovett, I'm trying to do the best that I can. Look at your neighbor, say, neighbor, great things always come in small packages. Great things always comes in under packages. Don't miss your next because you're stuck on your now. I can see clearly now. A lot of us, we've missed next level promises in the previous years because you've gotten too comfortable with your now. And even though you say out of your mouth you want more, you're not willing to sacrifice to get more. And so what happens is you become content with what you have. You've become content with where you are. You've become content with where you work and what it is that you're doing. But you have to understand is that I don't want the God of the back then because God is always on the move. Which means that God is not stuck in my past. As a matter of fact, he's here in my now and he's going on beside me or ahead of me. Are y'all hear what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell somebody that God is already ahead of you. And he's simply telling you, come on and catch up. I'm somewhere else. I'm not living in your past. Y'all don't want to hear what I'm trying to say. So y'all got to get from around people who are consistently condemning you for what you used to do. Get from around people who are condemning you for what you used to be. Get from around people who keep on living in your past. It's important that you understand that if God is always on the move, then that tells me that God has places. Okay. Let me make it plain. God sovereignly selects scenes and settings in order to institute and initiate his will. Please understand that God is geographically strategic. He connects himself to man. Not man to him. Not only through history, but God always uses geography and topography. Why? Because God has places, but places don't have God. Did y'all hear what I just said? God has places, but places don't have God. It was here in the Bible on Mars Hill that Paul says to the intelligent people of Athens, he says, the God that created the world and all things therein, seeing that he is the Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made by hands. Please understand that God transcends terra firma. Please understand that God cannot be circumscribed by his own creation. Why? Because God can't be limited by location. Please understand that God is not and cannot be regulated by the laws of longitude and latitude. God is not confined to north, east, south, and west. Please understand that he's not controlled by your compass. Please understand that he's not locked in. Neither is he restricted to boundaries that are built by brick and mortar. Understand that God cannot be located by your GPS. Why? Because he's omnipresent. He's everywhere at the same time. He's absent from nowhere at no time. He meets himself coming in when he's going. He's going when he's coming. He exits when he enters. He enters when he's exiting. He's up when he's down. He's down when he's up. There's no controlling God. God. Why? Because he's boundless, he's limitless, he's eternal, he's timeless, and he's infinite. So that means that he's not some local deity. Yes. What do you mean by that, Pastor? He's not Buddha, where you take him and sit him in front of your door. He's not Buddha when you take him and you put him off in the house and you sit him over the mantle if you have a fireplace. I know none of us in Florida don't have that. But he's not Buddha. But you got to understand that his name is Jehovah. Jehovah. What are you saying, Pastor? His name is Jehovah. It's not Buddha. It's not Muhammad. It's not Allah. It's not Brahma. But his name is Jehovah. He's the one and true living God. Not only is he God, but he has a son by the name of Jesus, in which he instilled himself, came down 22 generations, and walked the earth. That in the name of Jesus, every knee should bow. In the name of Jesus, every tongue should confess. In the name of Jesus, he's worthy to be praised. I'm talking about the incomparable God. Because we understand that the prophet Isaiah, he said that he measured the waters in the hollow of his hand. He meted out the heavens with the span. He comprehended the dust of the earth. You got to understand that the heavens are his throne and the earth is his footstool. He weighed the mountains on the scale. He put the hills in a balance. God has places, but places never have God. Let me say that one more time. God has places, but places never have God. God has places that are assigned for the unveiling and the unfolding of his purpose. And I need to tell every minister, every preacher that's in this house, that whatever purpose that God has for you, it will come to pass. You don't have to make your way to nobody's pulpit. God will always. So God gives you purpose. And if he's giving you purpose, I'm talking to the preachers now. If he's giving you purpose, that means that he'll open up doors. Why? Because the Bible says that your gifts will make room for you and bring you before great men. But watch this. It's your character that'll keep you there. Let me say it like this. Amen. Your gift will bring you before great men. But it's your anointing that makes you come across or to accomplish your task. Touch your neighbor, say, neighbor, you didn't know I may not look much because you're looking in the passages, but God has the God content, and it's called the anointing. Will make room for you. So what am I saying? I'm saying again that God has places. Let me prove my point. Y'all remember down in the Garden of Eden that he put Adam in the Eden garden. Why? Because he wanted Adam to dress it and to keep it. Noah and his family, they were found on a mountain called Arafat. Why? Because God has places. What about Joseph? Joseph was in a prison on his way to the palace. Why? Because God has places. What about Samson? He was in a prison where his hair began to grow again. Why? Because God has places. What about the prophet Elijah? Y'all remember Elijah? He stopped by the brook and he was fed by ravens on his way to the widow's house. Why? Because God has places. I'm talking about the Apostle John who wrote the book of Revelation on the Isle of Patmos. Why? Because God has places. God's works in specific places through specific people for specific tasks. What do you say? Imagine the ministry of Jesus. Could we really teach and preach Jesus without talking about the places? I want you to think about that. Could we talk about Jesus without talking about the places that Jesus did his miracles in? What about, amen, what about talking about where it is that he fed the 5,000 out in the wilderness? What about on the Sea of Galilee? Are y'all with me so far? What about him going into Samaria? We can't talk about Jesus without talking about places. But understand that God not only talks about places and spots, but you got to think about this Jesus, that he was sent from a place. Why? Because Jesus is God in the flesh, and he also has places. He was sent from a place called heaven. Preach, Lovett. He was born in a place called Bethlehem. He was concealed in a place called Egypt. He was reared in a place called Nazareth. He was baptized in a place called Jordan. He was tempted in a place called the wilderness. He was introduced in a place called Cana of Galilee. He was discovered in Capernaum. He was confirmed in a place called Caesarea of Philippi. He was rejected in a place called Gadara. He was transfigured on Mount Tabor. He was believed in a place called Bethany. He was agonized in a place called Gethsemane. He was arrested in a place called Kidron. He was judged in a place called Golgotha. He was forced to carry his place on his cross in a place called Dolorosa. Amen. He was crucified on an old rugged cross, a place called Calvary, and he was resurrected in a place called the old Paul tomb. But they ain't all. I got that news that if he really came back, he's coming back again. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, he's coming back for me. He's coming back. And because he has places, when he comes back, his feet, when they touch down on a place called Mount Olive, he'll split the mountains and then he'll reign for 1,000 years. I'm talking Bible right now. That's all I'm saying. I'm talking Bible. But understand, watch this. God has places, but places never have God. And it's important that you understand that authentic and redemptive ministry can only take place when God places the right people in the right place. Let me say it again. Authentic ministry can never take place until God places the right people in the right place. What am I saying for all of y'all that ain't what you say you ain't doing ministry? What I'm trying to tell somebody in here is that God has a place for you. Are y'all hear what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to tell everybody in this room that God has a place for you. I don't care where you are in your walk with him. He has a place for you. Amen. God has not forgotten where you are. As a matter of fact, he knows your name. He has your address. And even if nobody else knows it, God knows the place that he has for you. And the only thing that you have to do is you got to obey. Ooh, that's a hard word to say nowadays. Because a lot of us, we want the blessings and the promises of God, but we don't want to watch this though. If you obey God, he'll put you in places that people could never put you in. Look at your neighbor, say, neighbor, God is on the move. He's on the move because he wants to fulfill his eternal purpose. And this is what's clear about the text. 3 points, and I promise I'm going to raise up out of here. I told y'all I won't keep y'all long because we're going to party all night long in a couple of nights. As we get here to the text, understand that the prophet, amen, God sends the prophet Samuel to Bethlehem. He sends them to Bethlehem, and the first people that he walks up on are the movers and the shakers of the city. He walks up on the elders, and they want to know why this preacher coming to their town. As a matter of fact, they're trembling, and they say, man, did you come in peace? And Samuel turns around and say, man, chill. I come in peace. They wanted to know why this particular preacher had come to this particular place. Why does God send Samuel over to Bethlehem? It's important for you to know because God had to put a preacher in a place where there were already elders. What you saying? He came down to Bethlehem. Understand what Bethlehem is. Bethlehem means the house of bread. Okay? Bethlehem means the house of bread. And God was saying, I want the house of bread to live up to his name. So let me send somebody to help them live up to their name. They're known as the breadbasket of the Jordan Valley. But in order for Bethlehem to be what it was supposed to be, it needed a preacher. It was going to be a preacher because Moses made it clear in Deuteronomy. He says, man should not live by bread alone. Okay, y'all know a little bit about it. But he says, but out of every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God, what are you saying? If Bethlehem is supposed to live up to his name, it needed a preacher. You see, Bethlehem's purpose is to share the bread of life. Yeah. My God. Are y'all with me? Yes. This explains why he takes the King of Kings and he causes him to be born in a barn in the house of bread. Because Jesus came into the world as the bread of life. He took bread and he broke it. He gave thanks and then he gave it away. If I can help somebody in here, what you need to understand, if ministry is anything, ministry is a bread-breaking enterprise. When God sends Samuel to Bethlehem, he sends him to make an announcement. He sends him to let the people know you need more than just the bread by itself. He sends them and he says that you need more than something to live on. And everybody in this room, you need more than something to live on. We need something to live with. You need more than something to live on. You need something to live by. We need more than something to live on. You need something to live for. You need more than something to live on. You need more than bigger bank accounts. You need more than houses and cars. You need more than cash and checks. You need more than TVs and PlayStations. You need somebody that's going to break bread. I know all the preachers ain't going to like this. But we need more than good exegesis. We need some bread breakers. We need more than good homiletics. We need some bread breakers. We need more than dialectical preaching. We need bread breakers. God, please give us preachers who did not come to entertain us, but God, give us preachers who don't mind breaking bread. We need preachers that are falling in love with Jesus. We need preachers who can do more than entertain, but they can tell the story. They know how to tell the story. They know, amen, they have an unction, but they also have passion. We need preachers who can rightly divide the word of truth. We need preachers who know how to break bread. And in spite of, because I know we have some guests up in here, and I know I'm talking to some people in here, in spite of all the petty criticism that you like to give your pastor and everybody else, the question remains, can they break bread? Y'all don't want to talk back to me. In spite of all that gossip behind your pastor's back, can they break bread? And at the end of the day, if they can break bread, he ain't got to dress like you want him to dress. He ain't got to drive what you want him to drive. Can they break? Can they break bread? God, tell me through the preacher what you've been saying to him all week long. Come on now. Amen. I need more than the comedy section of the newspaper. Yes. I need more than simple entertainment. God, break bread with me. Yes. So Samuel comes to Bethlehem because without a preacher, it's just a place of bread. But when you have a preacher, it becomes more than just a place of bread. So this text teaches us three things, and I'm going to be real brief and I'm going to raise up. All of that was my introduction. The text teaches us three things. It teaches us what we can expect when God is on the move. It teaches us how not to get so caught up in our now that we miss our next. The first thing that the text teaches us and what we can expect, because understand that Saul represented a system that Samuel was emotionally and spiritually attached to. Let me say that again. Saul represented a system that Samuel was emotionally and spiritually attached to. Why? Because Saul and Samuel, they had history. By the word of the Lord, Samuel anointed Saul the king. By the word of the Lord, Samuel warned Saul. By the word of the Lord, Samuel judged Saul. Please understand that now Samuel is so invested in Saul, amen, that he begins to mourn for Saul. Please understand, he's mourning even though God is through with it. That's good right there. Because a lot of us, we're mourning on things that God has been done with. Okay. Let me say that again. A lot of us, we can't move because you're still stuck. God had moved past Saul. He had moved past the system. But Samuel was stuck because he was mourning. He was mourning because he was stuck. And so what we understand here by this text is that when God is on the move, he will always require redirection. Okay. Y'all just missed that. Some of y'all, if y'all keep on walking the way that you walked out 2017, 18, and 19, 2020 ain't gonna be no better. Preach, love it. Somebody say redirection. God always requires redirection, but understand this according to the text, that all redirection from God comes by way of rejection.
That's good, Pastor.
I'm preaching better than they are. But what are you saying, love it? I'm saying that every now and then you get so caught up on who's been rejecting you, but you got to understand that, amen, all the time, rejection is not always a personal, natural thing, but every now and then, according to this text, rejection may be something spiritual and from God. And so let me help somebody else in here. You see, when your steps are ordered by the Lord, when your steps are ordered by God, you don't have to walk in other people's shoes. Preach, love it, I just did. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, walk in your own shoes, walk your own mile, because your steps are ordered by the Lord. And if your steps are ordered by the Lord, then baby, like the song say, walk it out. Is there anybody in here that's willing to walk out the journey that God has for them? Is there anybody in here ready to see what God has ordained for your life? Is there anybody in this place that's ready? Samuel comes to Bethlehem. He came to Bethlehem to make an announcement. He came to Bethlehem to make an announcement that God is on the move. Touch your neighbor and say, neighbor, God is on the move. Come on, look at him eyeball to eyeball and say, neighbor, God is doing something new. Come on, tell him it's time to move on. It's time to move. It's time to move on to your next. You can't afford to stay stuck on your now, because next is calling your name. He makes an announcement that God is on the move.
Yes.
But even though God is on the move, the prophet, the man of God, is still mourning. Instead of moving, he's mourning. There are two types of people in the church. Y'all don't want to have no church with me. There are two types of people in the church. There's folks that are mourning, and there's folks that are moving. I need you to ask the person next to you, which one are you? Are you mourning or are you moving? I need to know, because if you mourning, baby, God has called me to my next. I can't afford to stay right here and cry with you. I know what the scripture says. Rejoice with those who rejoice, weep with those who weep. But God said next and not now. There are people who spend all of their time mourning the past. And you got to understand that if you sit there mourning your time or mourning your past, then you have have a great probability of missing the next move of God. Preach, Lord. We're going to have to make a decision. And the decision simply has to be more on the move. Somebody shout that back at your boy. Somebody say more on the move. Are you mourning or are you moving? I got to tell you, I'm moving because God has greater things for me. And I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of seeing the same old stuff. I'm sick and tired of dealing with the same old thing. I don't have no time. Are you mourning or are you moving? So the first thing that Samuel learns is, he learns that there cannot be any redirection without first some rejection. That's the first thing that he learns. He says, after a while, I can imagine, he said, man, this thing ain't even personal. I love the Lord so much, and yes, naturally I was stuck on this person. But God have anointed somebody else. Which means then that I'm out of line by mourning over my past. Okay. You got to understand, because I know that rejection never feels good. Am I right about it? Rejection never feels good. But let me help somebody out. Rejection was used to put you where you should have been in the first place. I just did. The only reason that God allowed them to reject you is because he was moving you to a new territory. He was moving you to new regions. He was moving you to the next level. Embrace the rejection because maybe he was on the redirection. I know you don't like rejection, but even Jesus was rejected by men. And the rejection was set up for the resurrection. Preach, love it. And if you've been rejected, then maybe you better get ready for resurrection. God is getting ready to raise you up. Thank God for all of my rejections because it set me up for my best resurrection. I'm a righteous man fall down. He gets back up again. Yeah, you thought you had me, but I got away. Give me 3 days and I'm gonna rise up. Grab your neighbor by the hand, say it like you got the power of God, and say raise up, neighbor, raise up. The rejection was for your resurrection. The rejection was setting you up for your next blessing. Come on, look at somebody and tell them, if God is through with it, then you need to be through with it. Come on, look them in the face and say, God is getting ready to raise you up. If they didn't get excited, you need to move your seat up. Find somebody else and say, God is getting ready to raise you up. God is moving. Yes. We need to move with God. Yes. And with people that are moving. Yes. Are y'all with me? Yes. So according to the text, the good old days, they were gone. And Samuel had to make a decision. Am I going to stick with this or move with God? Some of you all in this room, you need to make a decision. Amen. Are you going to stick with what's been keeping you in your present? Or are you going to move with God? Amen. It's quiet in this Catholic church this morning. I'm reminded of a story, or many stories, where there are people who get in abusive relationships. And as they get in an abusive relationship, they think that that's all they'll ever have. Why? Because the mind has been manipulated. And once the mind is manipulated, you get the body. But I also watched a couple of movies. This is non-fictional or fictional. if whatever you want to call it. Because we understand that everything you see in the movies, they try to give you a little bit of truth.
That's right. Yes.
And I'm reminded of a movie where some women were in abusive relationships.
Yeah.
But there was a move that was taking place and they got tired. And even though they were living in luxurious houses, had all the clothes and jewelry, nice cars, one day this woman decided, I gotta get up and I gotta leave this.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to tell somebody in here, every now and then you got to leave the house, the car, and everything else behind. Because when God says move, redirection will require rejection. Second thing that I need to tell you, I'm almost done. That God, when he's on the move, I believe that here in this 21st century, that he's getting ready to change the way that we do church. I'm talking better than y'all know. Let me give it to you in the text. Samuel said it like this. He said, but if I go down there, God, they're going to kill me. Who's going to kill him? The old system. Saul. So what the Lord says, he says, listen, don't trip. Take a heifer with you. Not any heifer, take a red heifer. I'm talking about y'all. I'm talking about because this kind of animal is a marquee sacrifice. This kind of animal is a total ash sacrifice. And this is what somebody in here, this is what you need to get. If you don't get anything from the teaching, you need to understand to face the former thing in your life. You need to sacrifice your life to go to the next level. What do you say? I'm saying to you that nothing changes without sacrifice.
Yes, that's true.
We all want convenience, but don't nobody want to sacrifice.
Right.
But nothing in your life will change without some kind of sacrifice. And I don't know what it is that you've been hanging on to, but God told me to tell you that he has better than what you've been holding on to. God told me to tell you that every now and then, you just got to learn how to let it go. For some of us, we got to learn to let go old traditions. We got to learn how to let go old church politics. You got to learn how to let go of old gossiping, old backbiting. Some of us got to get rid of our agendas. Why? Because God is on the move. We have to be careful that if we're saying that we're holy, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, that we don't get stuck on how we used to do church in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. So we used to do it like this. I did church like this at my church where I came from. Well, baby, if you go to this church, you don't go to that church. Y'all don't like that? Why? Because what God has done is he'll put his own stamp on each individual church. And this is what I got to tell you, is you got to be careful with always trying to be a copycat. Oh, okay. Let me get down. I'm going to go back to that one. I see some of y'all don't like that. But understand that our faith is rooted in sacrifice. And if God was willing to give up his best at Calvary, why can't we give up our best to move on to our next? So we can't change till we're ready to sacrifice. Last point, and I'm out. Last point. So the things that we've learned today is that when God is on the move, in order for me to go to my next, I can't stay stuck on my now. I understand that God requires redirection. I also understand that now that he's on the move, he's changing the way that he'll do church. And the last thing that I want to tell you is simply this, is that God chooses whom he pleases. God chooses whom he pleases. Y'all check the story out. This is a very popular text. When Samuel arrives in Bethlehem, he looks at 7 boys. 7 boys. This is from the eagle-eye prophet. He missed it. Why did the eagle-eye prophet miss it? Because he tried to make his next predicated on his now. Let me help you out. Let me teach you. Let me teach you for 1 second. Understand that Saul was a good-looking man when he was first anointed to be king. Saul stood above the whole stock of the Benjamites. He was muscular, he was tall, he looked real good. And the Bible says right there in 1 Samuel that when he went to Eliab, he said, man, this dude looked good. Surely the Lord's anointed is in front of me. The eagle-eyed prophet missed it because he tried to base it on a past experience. I'm preaching better than y'all know. And a lot of us are missing our next simply because we keep judging our next by our now. Preach, Lovett, I just did. But watch this. He walks in, and as he walks in, the Bible says the oil would not flow. On 7 young men that came from the same seed of one man, the oil would not flow.
Good God.
I'm teaching y'all something. And this is what you got to understand, is that when God, or what God has for you, whenever it's time, it's going to flow. Hold on. Let me put a pause right here. Okay. Understand, I like that video marketing the media because if you looked at it at first, he dipped the horn in water. Let me help somebody else out in here. Oil and water flow differently. Okay, preach. Oil and water flow differently, which means then that baby, you can copycat me all you want, but all you'll get is a watered down version of who I am. Why? Because if it's not for you, the oil will not flow. Get somebody high five and say, baby, this is authentic. The oil is on my life. And so he's looking for the next king. And he goes to all these good-looking dudes that don't want to do no work, their hands ain't dirty. Y'all just missed it. I said they don't want to do no work, their hands ain't dirty. And every now and then, when God prepares you for ministry, you got to get a little bit dirty. Preach, Lovett, I just did. Which means that every now and then, you got to go through some stuff. You may get a little bit dirty, but God will bring you out. And when God brings you out, you'll come out looking like pure. Young men, all from the same seed, but the oil would not flow. This flows differently than water. Which means that if we did an interview with Samuel, when he got to number 6 and finally number 7, I can imagine he's frustrated. And I can imagine he said, well, God, I know you sent me to this house. I know you sent me here to anoint the next king of Israel. How come the oil won't flow? And I can hear the Lord saying, because this next level ain't for any of them. I don't look at the outward appearance. I know they look like they got it all together, but I look at the heart, and some of them still got pride. Some of them still got resentment. Some of them still got anger. Some of them still got bitterness. Some of them still have malice. I look at them. So I did an interview, and I can hear God asking the prophet, what, you mad because this ain't none of them? You mad? Understand, that tells me that every now and then, if you're going to move on to your next from your now, it's going to require great patience. Look at your neighbor, say, neighbor, just wait it out, because your next level is going to blow your mind, but you're going to have some patience. You're going to learn how to wait this one out. Your next level is going to require. Understand that oil is weighty. And if oil is weighty, that means, amen, that we can liken that to the word kabod, which is the glory. And understand that the glory, in layman terms, it simply means the weight of God. y'all don't want to hear what I'm trying to say. And so what I'm trying to tell everybody in here is that everybody's not qualified for the weight of God. Everybody's not qualified for the glory of God. And baby, you can try to go to the next, but your next will never be sustained if you don't walk. So he finally makes his way. He said, man, is this it? I know you've got to have something else, because I know I didn't miss God. And because I didn't miss God, I know something is here. God says, I look on the inward appearance, which means that if he chooses whom he will, what you need to understand is that God sets the criteria for the call. Okay. If God sets the criteria for the call, why are you angry that it wasn't you? Okay. Let me reel it back in. If God sets the criteria for the call, stop trying to make your next pastor look like your old pastor. If God sets the criteria for the call, stop trying to compare your next level with the level that you're on right now. Because you got to understand, if you're going to the next level, God says in me, we go from glory to glory, which means that we always go up, baby. We never go down. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, God is about to upgrade you. And when God upgrades you, you might as well holler out, supersize me, Lord, because God is getting ready to exceed my expectations. I told y'all I'm gonna let y'all go a little early. Let me get ready to rock. And so if you didn't get in on anything else, please understand that God will promote folks that you don't like. He will anoint people that you can't stand. He will bless people that you've been rolling around with. But God chooses who he will. He qualifies those that he calls. Grab your neighbor by the hand and shake it up. He got the power of God. And say, neighbor, let's get ready to go to our next. Come on, grab somebody. Shake it up and say, neighbor, are you ready to press into 2020? Are you ready to press and multiply blessings? Are you ready to press and multiply deliverance? Why? Because my God will make a murderer into a leader. He'll make an adulterer make into a king. He'll make a conqueror and make him a soldier. He'll take exiles and make them heroes. He'll take persecutors and make them priests. God wants you to move. Grab your neighbor and say, let's move. He's taking the lost and he's making them saved. He's taking the saved and he's making them sanctified. God is on the move. Is there anybody in here who can declare, I want the Holy Ghost? Lord, pour your spirit out on me because God. The Spirit of the Lord told me to tell you this. I'm done. The Spirit of the Lord told me this.